I'm Ann Gage of Confident Horsemanship, and this is Jewel. We're going to give you a training tip today. Jewel's a little bit head shy, and has been difficult to halter. So here's a tip on how to halter or bridle your horse, making it as stress-free as possible. First of all, you want to be able to get your horse to bend with pressure from the bend button. I talked about this in an earlier video. And if your horse needs to move, and won't stop when you give a simple block on your line, and the best thing is to allow that movement, but to control where the movement goes. That way you're addressing the horse's need to move, because after all, horses are moving animals. They're flight animals. So when their stress gets to a certain level, they need that movement to help de-escalate the stress. Forcing them to stand in one spot while they're getting stressed just escalates the matter. So I'm going to ask her, by stroking at her girth area, to bring her nose in towards me. My hip closest to her nose is bent away. Think of a funnel. It sort of draws the fluid in, and that's what I'm doing with my hip. Now if she backs up, I'm going with her a little bit, and then just asking her by pushing at her flank, which is the go button, for her to come forward again. Again, just establishing who's moving who. If I keep backing up with her, then she's getting me to move. If I can get her to come forward, I'm getting her to move. And in the herd hierarchy, it's who moves who determines where you are. The more horses you can move, the further up in the herd you're going to be. So I block a little with my rope as she backs up. I am not pulling her forward, I'm just creating a block on this line, and then reaching back towards her flank to push, to say go. It's just incorporating natural horse language into the horse training. What I'm asking this horse to do is not natural. To wear a halter, or a bridle, or a saddle. But I can communicate with her in a way that is more natural to her. So the first thing is I need to get, she needs to give me her head. I'm not going to assume to take it. Her head is one of the vulnerable areas, this head and neck area. This no-go zone is a space we don't want to be putting impulsive energy from our body. And she's reacting somewhat to some of the things outside of the ring. So all of this movement and activity is not necessarily a reaction to what I'm asking her to do, but she's not totally focused on me. So I block, ask for forward, being careful to keep my core off because I'm up near her head. There's a nice bend. Now I can take her head because she just brought that head beautifully into my body with my draw of my core being off. You hear me talking about pushing energy, drawing energy, blocking energy. So as she tries to take her head up, I'm blocking, and I just follow it as she comes down. And I block. And now I can talk to her with my hip while my hands are occupied, blocking her nose and her neck. There's no pressure here. I am not holding her down. My hands are just resting lightly on on her body. So I take the arc into my body as we move, so my hip is now what's pushing into her barrel for the bend. Massage on her neck, ask her to lower her head. I didn't bring it this low, she brought it this low on her own. I'm just following her. I'm paying attention to her eye, whether she's blinking or staring. If she's staring, she's not really comfortable, and mentally she's not engaged. I got a bit of a handicap here, because I need to stay in front of the camera. So I have to release my block to get her back to where I want her to be. Invite her to bend again with my open hip, pressure at the girth. We have flies and we have a little rain starting now. Lots of distractions. But my goal is first to create the shape and her being comfortable with giving me her head before I think of taking her halter off or putting her halter on. Good girl. Good girl. We'll take that. Pay attention to her eyes, not blinking at the moment. Good girl. And until she'll stand in that bend, accepting my block on her nose, on her head. We don't progress any further. Good girl. Again, she gives me her head, but she's not oh, now she's blinking. So now I can think about taking this halter off, and again, when I'm in by her head, I'm going to have my core off and my hip closest to her head open, so there's no impulsive energy into that no-go zone here. Again, distractions outside of the ring. Good girl. And I just keep asking for focus on me. Low head. Good girl. No hurry. Good girl. So now I really don't want to lose the block on her nose. My rope organized. We're ready to slide the halter on gently over the ears. Fix that bend. Bring your head. Tape the head. Gently halter off over her ears. Don't want to squish those ears. Hip open, that's closest to her head. This hand is only to block from leaving. Slide the halter up, fold the ears forward, halter on. And there's a big sigh. Good, and some chewing, and she's still staying level in her neck and bending around me. Good girl. one more time. Ask for bend. Yes, there's handsome geldings over there. Handsome geldings next door. Good girl. Oh. So I'd like your head. Good girl. Thank you very much. Blocking on the nose. Gently lift the halter off her ears. Blocking. She's looking for the halter now. Ears in and on. And that's how you halter your horse, to build trust, respect, and confidence.